Fully lobbed after he'd spotted James off his line, and Southampton were chasing shadows. Sheringham got his second off a Beckham cross 5 minutes after the restart. 4 minutes later, up came the hat-trick. Number 5, Cole's second, simplicity itself, the far post header off a corner. United, in this mood, unstoppable, at least in the Premiership. As for Southampton, well, at least they have the knowledge that they won't have to come here again this season.
All the scores starting to go through. Let's go to Highbury immediately, because anything Manchester United could do, looks like Arsenal are trying to do too. There's a report on their crushing of Manchester City, it would seem. Gerald Sinstadt.
I have to tell you that they could virtually have doubled it. This was a serious game for 43 minutes, with City working hard to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm. Then Danny Chiato was sent off, second yellow card, after he brought down Henry. The free kick was stroked 2 yards by Bergkamp and thrashed home by young Ashley Cole. 10 against 11 in the second half. Arsenal played it slow, invited Manchester City to come and chase, and as City tired, Arsenal turned it on. Bergkamp scored. Wiltord scored. He'd come on as a substitute. He then set one up for Henry, a brilliant goal on the turn, and Henry stroked in the fifth just before the end from Wiltord's pass. But for Nicky Weaver, who made so many good saves I lost count, it could easily have been double figures.
Now another score going through, absolutely. What about that? Rangers 0, Kilmarnock 3 at Ibrox. Rangers don't lose many. They don't lose many at Ibrox either. And Celtic, who play tomorrow, have a chance to extend their lead to 15 points. Rangers 0, Kilmarnock 3. Kilmarnock, who have now gone 9 games unbeaten, have got goals through Christoph Kokar, Gary Holt and an own goal from Arthur Newman. Right, let's go to Stamford Bridge now. Chelsea against Tottenham. Well, it usually is a win for Chelsea, and that's the situation this afternoon. All the details from Tony Gubber.
Chelsea play at times a special brand of football that has spectators with their hearts in their mouths. They do like to live dangerously at the back. But up front in Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, the £15 million man, they've got the Premiership's best goal machine, and he was at it again today. 2 goals from Hasselbank, 1 a penalty to put Chelsea 1 up, and that after Tottenham had seen Ed de Hoy keep them out with 2 great saves. But it'll be Hasselbank's second goal, scored 3 minutes from time, which made the final scoreline 3-0, which will be talked about tonight. An absolutely outrageous strike from almost 30 yards to beat Neil Sullivan in Tottenham's goal. Tottenham, to their credit, never ever gave up the struggle. They didn't have any luck in front of goal, and importantly they lost key players today, and I'm sure that George Graham will have something to say about the penalty decision against them.
Well, there's been a few great games this afternoon. Bolton 3, Crystal Palace 3. They're still playing at the Reebok Stadium, but Palace, who are on a run of 6 defeats, keep fighting and fighting, and Clinton Morrison has got an equaliser in the 90th minute, but they're still playing. Other scores going through: Brentford 2, Walsall 1. So the leaders have been beaten. Leicester 2, Derby 1 in the Premiership, so Leicester back on track after 2 successive defeats. Tranmere 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1 at Prenton Park. That was Jason Kumas for Tranmere. Carl Connolly equalised for Queen's Park Rangers. Right now, Villa Park now. Villa keep their unbeaten run intact. They've beaten Charlton. Steve Lee's been watching.
In the end, a deserved victory in awful conditions for Villa. Headers from Ian Taylor and the energetic Paul Merson in the first half did all the damage. A fair reflection of play. Charlton started brightly, but only really came alive in the last 10 minutes when they poured a goal back. Villa, who hadn't scored in 2 Premiership games, had their midfielders to thank today. Ian Taylor stealing into the box to head home. Stone's well-flighted cross, and then the excellent Paul Merson popped up in the box just before Harm to glance the ball past Kiley. Charlton got a late consolation effort when Dion Dublin diverted a cross from Johansson into his own net, something he never looked like doing at the other end. Villa 2, Charlton 1.
Now Reading are going to go top of the table, having beaten bottom of the table Oxford United. Reading 4, Oxford 3. Reading will go top of the table this evening. Let's go to Ipswich now. Ipswich have beaten Borough. I think that will push Ipswich up to 5th. Sue Thurr will tell us about the game.
Well, Ipswich unbeaten now in 6 league matches, Ray, and enjoying the heady heights of the Premiership, where on this performance they certainly deserve to be. The home side had already hit the post through Matt Holland, who had a storming match. When they went in front on 25 minutes, Richard Naylor gifted his first goal of the season when Mark Crossley thumped his clearance straight at him some 40 yards out. 2 minutes later, Mark Venus made it 2-0 when his free kick was deflected past Crossley, and that really seemed like game, set and match. But after what must have been a dressing down at half-time for Borough, the visitors made more of a fight of it after the break. Dean Gordon's deflected free kick on 66 minutes drew Ipswich out of their comfort zone, and suddenly we had a real contest. But George Burley's side proved they could knuckle down and grind out results, and in truth, deserving winners. Ipswich 2, Middlesbrough 1.
Situation in the top of Division 1 is that Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham have drawn, and Wolves and Watford have drawn, so the situation will stay as it was with Watford on top. Other scores that have gone through: Huddersfield just can't get a win from anywhere. Huddersfield 0, Blackburn 1. Egil Ostenstad for Blackburn Rovers. 4 wins in a row now for Blackburn. 13 without a win for bottom of the table Huddersfield. There's a game: Luton 3, Wrexham 4. Good away win for Wrexham. Macclesfield 0, Halifax 0. Halifax still can't get off the mark under Paul Bracewell with a win. Darlington 1, Brighton 2. Brighton going well. Wycombe 1, Bristol City 2. And it's Portsmouth 1, Birmingham 1. Bolton 3, Crystal Palace 3 is now a result in Division 1. To Upton Park now. West Ham United against Newcastle. And it looks like West Ham, the tide is turned. John Watson will tell us all about it.
Yes, in the sense that they've got their first home win since last April, it certainly has, Ray, and it was a substitution after 70 minutes that really turned what was becoming quite a predictable game into a victory for West Ham. Davor Schuker was brought on by Harry Redknapp and almost instantly supplied one of the best passes of the afternoon, which Frederick Canute joyfully struck past Shay Gibbon in the Newcastle goal, who earlier had made a quite fantastic save from Frank Lampard. Newcastle haven't won in London for nearly 3 years, but there were times in the second half when they did threaten the West Ham goal. Alan Shearer had a great battle against his old England teammate Stuart Pearce, but Newcastle lacked the support for Shearer really, and West Ham certainly will have their spirits lifted despite the pouring rain here by this first home win. Newcastle had Rob Lee playing as a sweeper. They had debuts for Loire and for the Chilean Acuna, but on the day they couldn't find the cutting edge. West Ham could, and certainly now will start to move up the table.
It was Canute that turned the tide for West Ham United with West Ham's first home win of the season. Blackpool are going well after a tricky start of the season. They've got 4 wins in a row now. To Filbert Street, Leicester against Derby. Andrew James.
Well, an inspired substitution by England's new coach Peter Taylor brought Leicester victory over their East Midlands rivals for only the 3rd time in 15 attempts. Arne Gunnlaugsson had been on the pitch for a matter of seconds when he weaved his way into a shooting position and then beat Mark Boom from 20 yards out. Earlier, Derby had taken the lead through Rory Delap, only for Muzzy Izzet to equalise on the half hour. So Derby's woeful season continues, but Leicester are back on track with their first win for 5 matches.
Leicester up to 3rd, no clean sheet, no win for Derby County. Now to the Stadium of Light, Sunderland against Coventry, another 3 points for Sunderland. Harry Grayson has been watching them.
Yes, Raymond, Sunderland won this, but it was a lacklustre performance with only 1 minute really of inspiration. Darren Williams' free kick 5 minutes into the second half was tipped over by Chris Kirkland. From the corner taken by Arca, Tome headed in his first goal for the club. Coventry continued to play the better football, Bellamy and Hadji especially, but with Gordon Strachan prowling his dugout zone, increasingly frustrated, it was never to be their day. 4 matches then without conceding a goal now for Sunderland, and 3 more points. 44,000 fans will be happy with that, if not perhaps the overall performance.
Thanks so much to Harold Grayson. Now, all the scores are in. Let's get a full classified check from Tim Gudgin.
OK, Ray, here we go. FA Carling Premiership, Arsenal 5, Manchester City 0. Aston Villa 2, Charlton Athletic 1. Chelsea 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Ipswich Town 2, Middlesbrough 1. Leicester City 2, Derby County 1. Manchester United 5, Southampton 0. Sunderland 1, Coventry City 0. West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 0. The Nationwide Football League Division 1, Bolton Wanderers 3, Crystal Palace 3. Burnley and Norwich is a postponed one. The Pools panel sittings say a home win. Gillingham 0, Crewe Alexandra 1. Huddersfield Town 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Portsmouth 1, Birmingham City 1. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Fulham 3. Stockport County 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Tranmere Rovers 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Wimbledon 0, Sheffield United 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Watford 2. Division 2, Brentford 2, Walsall 1. Bristol Rovers 0, Oldham Athletic 2. Luton Town 3, Wrexham 4, Millwall 3, Cambridge United 1, Northampton Town 0, Rotherham United 1, Notts County 3, Swindon Town 2, Peterborough United 3, Colchester United 1, Reading 4, Oxford United 3, Stoke City 2, Bournemouth 1, Swansea City 0, Port Vale 1, Wigan Athletic 1, Bury 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Bristol City 2. League Division 3, Barnet 4, Lincoln City 3, Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 2, Cheltenham Town 0, Blackpool 1, Chesterfield 2, Cardiff City 2, Darlington 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Exeter City 0, Rochdale 1, Hartlepool United 2, Leyton Orient 1, Macclesfield Town 0, Halifax Town 0, Mansfield Town 1, Southend United 1, Plymouth Argyle and Kidderminster Harriers postponed, Pool's panel say away win, Shrewsbury Town 1, Torquay United 1, York City 0, Hull City 0. The Bank of Scotland Scottish Premier League, Dundee United 0, Hibernian 1, Dunfermline Athletic 1, Dundee 0, Hearts 0, St Johnstone 3, Rangers 0, Kilmarnock 3, St Mirren 2, Aberdeen 0. Bell's Scottish Football League First Division, Airdronians 5, Ross County 1, Falkirk 3, Ayr United 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1, Wraith Rovers 2, Livingston 4, Alloa Athletic 0, Morton 1, Clyde 1. Scottish Second Division, Arbroath 1, Stranraer 1, Berwick Rangers 1, Partick Thistle 2, Queen of the South 1, Clyde Bank 1, Queen's Park 3, Stirling Albion 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Forfar Athletic 0. Scottish Third Division, Brechin City 3, Peterhead 2, Dumbarton 0, Albion Rovers 1, East Fife 3, Montrose 1, Elgin City 2, Cowdenbeath 3.
Let's check on the pools news today. On the coupons there were 10 score draws and 3 no score draws. No forecast yet. Here's some numbers though. 10 full-time score draws today. Number 7, 11, 12, 14, 16, 31, 36, 38, 48 and 49. And there were 3 full-time no-score draws, 15, 35 and 39. And here's the details as far as the half-time pools news is concerned. 5 half-time score draws, 18 half-time no-score draws. The half-time forecast is moderate, and all the details, as ever, are on CFAX, page 312. Now at the top of the FA Carling Premiership, Manchester United and Arsenal now 5 points clear after those comfortable home wins today. Leicester now back up to third after leaving it late to beat East Midlands rivals Derby at Filbert Street. Liverpool are fourth. They meet Everton at Anfield in tomorrow's Merseyside derby. Ipswich continue to climb. They're up to fifth after that win against Middlesbrough at Portman Road. Chelsea, the big movers though, they climb from the bottom half of the table into 6th after they maintain their decade-long jinx over Tottenham today. Aston Villa follow Chelsea into the top half. They beat Charlton. Now, Derby stay bottom without a win after that defeat at Filbert Street, and their plight will worsen if Bradford get a result against Leeds tomorrow. Southampton, Middlesbrough and Coventry all lost on their travels today. West Ham's first home league win for 6 months moves them out of the bottom 3. Newcastle are beaten side at Upton Park. Manchester City slip into the bottom half of the table after that defeat at Arsenal. Now, West Ham manager Harry Redknapp, surely he's delighted. Let's find out. He's talking to Garth Crooks.
Well, Harry, first home win of the season, clean sheet to boot. Delighted or relieved?
A bit of both, Garth. You know, I mean, we needed that result today. It was important. We clawed out a result. You know, confidence as well as when you're playing well and not winning, the confidence eventually starts to go a little bit, and a bit of belief starts to go. And so it was important we got that win today.
You brought on David Suka, I think it was Joe Cole. Suka immediately set up Canute. Tell us a bit about him. It was a fantastic finish.
Well, Freddie's a lad I signed from French club last season. He came on loan, and he's only 21. He's an outstanding talent. You know, he's not been scoring, unfortunately. He's been doing some great stuff for us. He's only got the 1 goal so far, so that was his 2nd goal of the season, and he needed that today for his confidence. You know,
It was a terrific contest. You played some lovely football. Lampard, Cole, people like that, all involved. Are you building something special here? You play a lot of lovely football.
Well, we've got a lot of kids. I mean, they're midfield today. You know, Joe's 18, Michael Carrick's 18, and Frank's 21. I mean, they're free. There's not 3 youngsters like, you know, younger players than them in the middle of a park anywhere. But I thought the old ones were fantastic today. I thought Stuart Pearce was absolutely outstanding. And I thought Nigel Winterburn, you know, until he came off a hamstring, was absolutely superb. What an example they set to any kids. And Ian Pearce came back today. It was his first game. He's played 1 game in 2 years, I think, Ian Pearce. Been out with a broken leg and a knee ligament injury. And he came back today. He couldn't walk at the end, but he got through the game, and he did marvellous as well today.
Well, according to my notes, I think Nigel Winterburn's 37. Stuart Pearce is going on 39.
39, yeah. But they're the example to any kids. You know, they're the ones on Monday morning when I go into the football club, I shall get all the kids together, young ones, the 17, 16-year-olds, and say, did you watch them 2 on Saturday? Yeah. Did you watch the enthusiasm they play football with?
A word about your skipper, Paolo Di Canio. Today he worked terrifically hard, but a lot didn't go for him. I mean, are you one of these sides that, you know, you're looking for the inspiration to come from Paolo all the time?
Well, not all the time. I think we've got lots of players like Joe, and we've got Paolo. I mean, not too many people have got 2 players that they play in a team with that type of ability, and we take a chance and play to pair them because they're special players. And but Paolo worked, as you say, worked his socks off today. You know, he was captain today, and he's been a great player since he's been at the football club, and hopefully he'll be here for a few years to come yet.
Terrific performance, well done.
Good, thank you, Garth.
You'll see how West Ham beat Newcastle, and you'll see all the goals from all the games from the FA Carling Premiership. Match of the day tonight at 10:30, repeated tomorrow at 7:15. All the goals, all the saves, all the incidents. Right. Let's hear from George Graham now. The jinx, Chelsea against Tottenham, can't quite be finished. Here's the Spurs manager talking to Tony Gubber.
George, Tottenham's record against Chelsea is unenviable, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's not good enough. But today, it was a strange game today. I think they got a break when I thought the game, especially for 30 minutes, was very even. I thought Chelsea were struggling to put their game together. And with the team that we had out, I thought we handled it well, but you get a bad decision from the referee.
You're saying a bad decision, that's obviously the penalty, which was the turning point after 12 minutes. It did appear that Vega handled it, but do you feel that Vega himself had been fouled?
Oh, definitely. The ball touched his hand, but it's got to be intentional. And I thought we deserved the free kick, Poirier on Vega. But that gave them a lift, obviously, and they're a quality team. And I thought the killer blow really was the second goal. Their goalkeepers made 3 great saves, and our goalkeeper has not really made a save.
As viewers on Match of the Day will see tonight, Tottenham could have been 2 up before Chelsea scored.
Yeah, in the first 15 minutes, I thought we played very well. We needed a goal. We need a goal when we've not got the best team out to give us a lift. And instead of that, even in the second half, I thought possession-wise we kept the ball very well. Not with a lot of purpose, but I thought we kept it well, and then the quality in their finishing was excellent.
Tottenham never seemed to lose belief that they could actually get back in the game. I mean, you did contest it right up to the final whistle.
Yeah, the spirit among the boys is very good. Today we had a couple of more players went down with an injury, Rebrov and Thatcher. So it was backs against the walls today with a lot of kids on the bench. But I thought the general play was very good.
Yeah. Hasselbank used to play for you when you were manager of Leeds. What did you think of that 3rd goal?
That's typical Jimmy. I think anywhere from 30 yards, if he gets a free shot, especially with his right foot, he's got tremendous power. It was a great goal.
I love George.
Thank you very much.
Let's go through the rest of the tables. Nationwide Division 1, Watford stay top despite throwing away a 2-goal lead to draw with Wolves. One consolation, they're still the only unbeaten side in the Football League. No win in 3 now for Fulham, who are held by the improving Sheffield Wednesday. The chasing pack continue to struggle to close the gap. Birmingham drew at Portsmouth while Preston lost last night. West Brom will go 4th if they win at Grimsby tomorrow. The bottom, it continues to look bad for Huddersfield. 12 games without a win became unlucky 13 against Blackburn. Palace 2 points ahead after ending a run of 6 defeats with a late comeback against Bolton. Stockport slip into the bottom 3 after defeat against Forest. The Sheffield Wednesday revival continued with that draw against Fulham. Nationwide Division 2, Reading top after taking the points in a 7-goal Thames Valley derby against Oxford. They replaced Walsall, who lost to Brentford today. Wigan closed the gap in 3rd. They beat Bury, and Rotherham's win in Northampton keeps them in contention. Rotherham really playing well under Ronnie Moore. At the bottom, 8 defeats from 8 away games are the main reason why Oxford are bottom, still 6 points adrift after their defeat at Reading. Luton stays second bottom after losing out by the odd goal in 7 at home to Wrexham. Swindon beaten at Notts County. They lose ground because Oldham and Port Vale won today. Bournemouth slip a couple of places. They were beaten at Stoke. Nationwide Division 3, the leaders Chesterfield could only draw with Cardiff and saw their lead cut to 5 points following wins for Brighton and Rochdale. Leighton Orient's 5-match unbeaten run came to an end at Hartlepool. Cheltenham are next despite their defeat against Blackpool. At the bottom, Halifax ended a 5-match losing streak with a draw at Macclesfield but stay bottom behind Carlisle, who look set for another season of struggle. Torquay and York both drew, while Plymouth's game against Kidderminster was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. Top of the Scottish Premier League, another good day for Celtic, and they didn't even play. Second placed Hibs won to close the gap to 2 points, having played a game more. But of more significance, Rangers' third defeat in a row. Kilmarnock's 3-0 win at Ibrox leaves them third and means the champions are 12 points behind the leaders, who play Motherwell tomorrow. At the bottom, Dundee United have lost more ground. St Mirren's win over Aberdeen means United are now 8 points adrift. Let's hear the details now behind Rangers losing at Ibrox. Rob McLean was watching.
You can only wonder what Dick Advocaat's words will be in the dressing room to his Rangers players. Bobby Williamson, the Kilmarnock manager, absolutely delighted, and the 800 supporters of Kilmarnock inside Ibrox, they will party tonight on the back of a quite sensational result for them, which strengthens their position of third place in the SPL. First half goals from Coker and Holt had Kilmarnock 2 ahead, and the result was in no doubt whatsoever when Arthur Newman put through his own goal midway through the second half. That meant the points were heading Kilmarnock's way. Rangers have won now only once in their last 7 games, and their unbeaten run at Ibrox, which had stretched through 20 matches, is shattered this afternoon by Kilmarnock. And what it all means is that Kilmarnock's place is strengthened, third spot in the SPL, and Rangers could be 15 points behind Celtic by tomorrow evening.
Rangers fans might need to pinch themselves. Let's go through the rest of the tables. In Scottish First Division, Falkirk stay top. They beat Ayr today. Livingston keep up the pressure. They're still just 2 points behind the leaders after their win against the new bottom club Alloa. Urgey move off the foot of the table after their win against Ross County. In the second division, Partick are the new leaders after beating Berwick, with Queen's Park up to second after victory over Stirling. Clydebank, who started the day top, drew with Queen of the South. Forfar remain at the bottom of the table on goal difference from Stirling. Both sides lost today. And in the third division, Brechin are the new leaders because they beat Peterhead, while Hamilton didn't play today. Cowdenbeath stay third. They beat Elgin, and then there's a 9-point gap to the rest. Dumbarton stay bottom. They lost at home to Albion today. Just sorting out the pools for you today. On the coupons, now it's all been completed. There are 10 score draws, 3 no-score draws, and the dividend forecast is moderate. If you're just coming in from an afternoon out, just to check on the top of the FA Carling Premiership, Manchester United and Arsenal both hit 5 this afternoon. And let's go to Highbury now. Ashley Cole scored on his home debut for the Gunners, and he's talking to Gerald Sinstadt.
Ashley, you must be enjoying the Premiership.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be playing at the moment, and hopefully I'll get some more games.
It's 4 games, 2 goals?
No, 2 games, 2 goals for Arsenal, but in England, 1 game, 1 goal.
Not bad going. Now tell me about the free kick. Was that planned, rehearsed?
No, well, I didn't really want to take it, to be honest with you, but they said just take it, hit it, keep it low, and I've done it.
Did you know that Nicky Weaver had taken up the other post?
Yeah, a little bit. I see the wall covering one post, and obviously the goal is on the other post, so I thought I might as well hit it low in that corner, and it went in.
And once Dennis Bergkamp had rolled it for you, the wall seemed to break up?
Yeah, I think someone jumped and it went under their feet, so it's pleasing for me to see it going in it anyway.
How are you finding adapting to the Premiership?
At the moment it's quite hard, obviously, because I'm not built like all them, but if I keep training hard and working on my game, then I'll be ready for it a couple more years.
The turning point in the end was the sending off that led to the free kick.
Yeah, well, as you said, we scored from the free kick, so 10 men, obviously, against a great team like Arsenal, they're going to struggle.
Because up until then, they'd harassed and chased and made life difficult for you.
Yeah, they had a couple of chances, but obviously Lukey had done a couple of good saves, but obviously, as you said, when the man got sent off, it made it easy for us.
once you get into that kind of rhythm that you had in the second half, it must be a joy to play in a side like that.
Yeah, it is. You always want to play, obviously, for Arsenal, but when it's going well for you, it's good.
And with the players around you that you've got, you must feel that it's a great place to learn.
Yeah, I'm learning every day with Silvino and all the other players, so they're just making it easier for me.
And ready to go back into the reserves when the moment comes?
Yeah, well, I'll take it. I mean, I don't expect to play week in, week out. I just play when he wants me to play, really.
Certainly played well today. Thanks very much.
Level-headed man with a bright future. Manchester United top, then Arsenal, then Leicester, then Liverpool. In fifth place, Ipswich Town. Well, at the start of the season, everybody said they were going to be relegated. Look at them in fifth place, going well. And here's their boss, George Burley, with South Earl.
George, terrific display this afternoon. What pleased you most about the performance today?
Yeah, well, it's keeping that consistency level going. So far this season, we've put on a lot of good performances. As you say, today was another good one. The Premiership was so tough to get points, and really we've played some great stuff and deservedly got the 3 points today. But we know we've got to keep it going right through the season.
It's always difficult to pick out individuals, but did anyone shine for you in particular today?
No, the team, and that's been the same all season. We're not get big names, not get big international players, but what we've got is a very good team with talented players all working hard for each other, and some of the movement first half I thought was exceptional.
Are you still being constantly surprised by the performances of your team this season, or is it what you expected?
No, we've set our standard. We set our standard early in the season against Man United and Arsenal at home, and we're trying to keep that going. And so far we've did that. But it's a long season. But all credit to the players. They've responded very well, and I feel deservedly so on fifth position at the moment.
When the goals came, 2 in the space of 3 minutes, it really made a difference. But you've been on top for so long, it was deserved, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was. There's been a number of games this season where we've played very well and maybe deserved 3 points and never got. So it was nice to score 2 goals. 1 goal's never enough. So the 2 goals gave us a little bit of cushion just before half time.
Word on Middlesbrough, you must feel something for Brian Robson. They're having a tough time at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a number of injuries, a lot of key players missing, but it's a long season. I'm sure by the end of the season, Middlesbrough will be pushing right up the table.
Well done, Ipswich. There's all today's scores in the FA Carling Premiership. We all just wish we'd been backing all the home wins today. All home wins. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Ipswich, Leicester, Manchester United, Sunderland and West Ham, all home wins today. But Arsenal and Manchester United both hitting 5. They're really starting to put their foot on the gas. Villa are going well. They started the day in 12th, and now they're zooming up the table because it's all so tight. Villa in 7th now, and here's their manager, John Gregory, talking to Steve Lee.
John, you made it a little bit hard for yourself in the last 10 minutes, but basically it was a comfortable victory.
Yeah, it was. Half-time going in 2-0. I thought we thoroughly deserved a half-time lead, and in the second half, I suppose, them kind of things tend to happen. Teams nick one back, and you have a scary last 15-20 minutes or so. So we did okay. I think it was awful conditions, very difficult to play in today, and as you know, weather like that tends to level out both teams, and it was hard to get any sort of decent football going, any momentum going. The wind and the rain was howling around most of the afternoon, but I'm delighted with the result today. The lads rolled their sleeves up and got on with it, so I'm very pleased.
Significantly, the goals came from midfielders, not your front two.
Yeah, well, I wondered how long it would be before you pointed that out. But Dion did get on the sheet, didn't he?
At the end.
Yeah, at the end. But no, they've worked hard. I mean, the front two in particular worked very hard, and they contributed a lot in the game. JJ in particular made a great run for our second goal, which Alan Wright ended up putting in a good cross for Mercer to score with a header, so which is unusual. But good to see Ian Taylor back on the score sheet as well, from Stoney's cross in the first half, and really it's about time he started banging in a few more. It's not right really to rely on the front two all the time for goals. The midfield really hasn't scored enough goals for us this season, but